In June 2024, Nvidia became the most valuable semiconductor company on Earth, surpassing a market valuation of more than $3 trillion. Intel, the company that once defined modern computing, was worth barely a fraction of that, roughly $86 billion. This value is significant, considering that Intel is 25 years older than Nvidia. The titan that powered over 90% of the world's servers, the company whose chips ran the internet, the brand stamped inside nearly every computer, had been overtaken. Not gradually, not politely, but decisively. And the most shocking part? This didn't happen because Nvidia suddenly got lucky or initiated the infamous AI bubble. It happened because Intel made a mistake so dangerous, so quietly catastrophic, that by the time leadership recognized it, the future of computing had already changed hands. For years, Intel optimized yesterday's technology, while Nvidia built the infrastructure for tomorrow. Artificial intelligence, machine learning, accelerated computing, a trillion-dollar shift hiding in plain sight.
Very key stock for the market in the last year or two. They design chips that used to be used to run graphics, and now they run AI applications.
So how did Intel lose its crown to Nvidia? For nearly 3 decades, Intel wasn't just a chip company. It was the computer revolution. To understand Intel's stumble, you have to understand just how far ahead it once was. In 2020, Intel generated roughly $77.9 billion in revenue, up 8% year over year, one of the strongest performances in its history. Margins were healthy. Market share was massive. The brand was synonymous with computing power. From the outside, nothing looked broken. But inside the industry, warning signs were flashing. The first crack appeared in manufacturing, the invisible battlefield most consumers never see. For a long time, Intel held an extraordinary advantage. It both designed and manufactured its own chips. That vertical integration allowed tighter control, better optimization, and industry-leading performance. Then came the delays. Intel struggled for years to transition to smaller, more efficient chip architectures. First 10 nanometer, i.e. the Ice Lake, then 7 nanometer technology. Meanwhile, competitors moved faster by outsourcing production to Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, better known as TSMC, the world's most advanced chip manufacturer. While Intel debated timelines, others executed. One semiconductor analyst later summarized the moment bluntly, quote, "Intel went from leading the process race to chasing it. And in tech, chasing is expensive, because once developers optimize software for rival hardware, switching back rarely happens." But manufacturing wasn't Intel's only vulnerability. There was also a philosophical one. Intel believed the future of computing would continue revolving around CPUs, central processing units, faster, more efficient, more powerful. It was a logical bet. After all, CPUs had powered computing for decades. But computing itself was evolving. Artificial intelligence, parallel processing, massive data sets. These workloads didn't just need fast chips, they needed different chips. And that's exactly where Nvidia was heading. Years earlier, Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang made a controversial bet, one that many analysts initially questioned. He believed graphics processors, GPUs, could become the engines of a new computing era. Not just for gaming, for intelligence, for machines that learn, for models that think. While Intel refined the past, Nvidia funded the future. Then came a leadership shock inside Intel. In 2018, CEO Brian Krzanich resigned after violating company policy related to a workplace relationship, an abrupt exit that rattled investors and employees alike. Leadership transitions are always risky in tech, because innovation doesn't pause while a company reorganizes itself. And during that vulnerable window, competition accelerates. By the early 2020s, the gap was no longer theoretical. Apple began designing its own chips. Cloud providers explored alternatives. AI labs are increasingly building their infrastructure around GPUs. The ground under Intel wasn't collapsing, but it was shifting, slowly, quietly, and then, all at once. Because history shows something again and again. Companies rarely fall because they suddenly become bad. They fall because they stay successful, just a little too long, doing the same things. And Intel was about to learn the hardest lesson in technology. Past dominance does not guarantee future relevance. Because while Intel was protecting a kingdom built on CPUs, Nvidia was preparing to rule an entirely new world. By 2024, the numbers were no longer subtle. Nvidia wasn't just ahead, it was operating in a different financial universe.
The California-based firm is the first company in the world to cross that $5 trillion valuation mark. And we saw shares pop on this morning's opening bell at 9:30 today. They went up about 4%, and right now they're trading a bit lower, around 2.75% up, give or take, off of yesterday.
Intel, meanwhile, hovered closer to the $150 to $200 billion range, a staggering reversal for a company that once defined semiconductor supremacy. But valuation gaps tell only part of the story. Revenue trajectories revealed something more unsettling. Nvidia's data center business exploded as AI demand reshaped corporate spending priorities. Intel's revenue, by contrast, fell sharply from its 2020 peak, pressured by weaker PC demand, competitive server chips, and years of manufacturing setbacks. Investors weren't reacting emotionally, they were reacting rationally. Capital flows toward momentum. And right now, momentum has a GPU inside it. Yet, Intel didn't stand still. Under CEO Pat Gelsinger, the company launched one of the most ambitious rebuild plans in tech history. New fabrication plants, over $100 billion committed to domestic U.S. semiconductor manufacturing, over 5 years to expand capacity across Arizona, Ohio, and other states. A strategy called IDM 2.0, designed to restore Intel's engineering edge while manufacturing chips for other companies. It wasn't a tweak, it was a corporate reset. Gelsinger himself framed the mission clearly. We will reclaim process leadership and build a world-class foundry. Strong words. But turnarounds in semiconductors aren't measured in quarters. They're measured in years, sometimes decades. Because fabs take time, talent takes time, trust takes time. And while Intel rebuilds, Nvidia keeps accelerating. Perhaps the most painful realization for Intel is this. The AI wave wasn't unpredictable. The signals were visible. Researchers were already scaling neural networks. Cloud providers were investing heavily. Compute demand was climbing. The future didn't arrive overnight. It arrived gradually, until suddenly it was everywhere. One veteran chip analyst summarized the shift bluntly, quote, "Intel optimized for the world that was ending. Nvidia optimized for the world that was beginning." That sentence alone explains the divergence. But here's where the story becomes more nuanced and more interesting. Intel is not collapsing, not even close. It remains one of the largest semiconductor companies on Earth. Its chips still power millions of laptops. Its enterprise relationships remain deep. Governments increasingly view Intel as strategically critical to domestic chip production. Writing Intel off would be premature. Dangerously premature. Because technology history has a habit of surprising anyone who declares a winner too early. Remember this. Companies like Apple, Microsoft, and even Nvidia itself have all faced moments when critics predicted their decline. Comebacks happen, but only when companies move faster than their own inertia. Still, the psychological shift inside the industry is undeniable. For decades, startups asked, "Will this run on Intel?" Today, many ask first, "Can we get Nvidia capacity?" That's more than competition. That is a transfer of gravity. And gravity, once moved, is incredibly difficult to pull back. So what's the real lesson here? It isn't that Intel suddenly forgot how to build chips. It's that dominance can quietly distort urgency. Success can soften instincts. And comfort, especially in technology, is often the first step toward vulnerability. Because the moment a giant begins protecting yesterday, someone else is usually inventing tomorrow. Now Intel faces the hardest challenge any former leader can face. Not catching up, but redefining itself in a race it no longer controls. Meanwhile, Nvidia stands exactly where Intel once stood, at the center of the next computing era, powering intelligence, training machines, fueling a trillion-dollar transformation. And maybe the most haunting question isn't whether Intel can recover. History suggests it might. The real question is this: when the next technological revolution arrives, will Nvidia still be the disruptor? Or will it become the giant that gets too comfortable? Because if Silicon Valley teaches us anything, it's that crowns in technology are never permanent. They're simply borrowed until someone hungrier takes them.